I came up in Baltimore County, so Milford Mil High School. One of the things about where I came up in my school back in the 90s, it was like we had everybody in our school. Like back then, even the thugs, even the street dudes still went to school. Like they ain't drop out of school. Like back then, white kids dropped out of school, drug addicts dropped out of school, but the thugs still went to school, right? They may have failed once or twice, but they were still in school. And one of the things about my experience in growing up is that, I'll tell you all the time, I probably say, look, I was a cornball. I was not in them streets like that. But even back then, those kids who were in the streets or their parents or uncles, whoever it was, who were in the streets to influence them, what I loved about our time back then was that we were all still cool. No one judged each other. We were all still cool. And when I think back about it, no one ever pressured me or people like me to try to get into what they were doing, right? I'll see stories about basketball players who came from the hood, and I talk about how they're all the street boys, all the b-boys is like, no, you the one, you got to get out, you got to do your thing, stay on the right path. And that was never explicitly expressed to me in that way, because one, I wasn't a baller, but it was just like, we just knew, like you respected, like, look, Ryan is about doing right. Ryan's about trying to go to college. Ryan is not in them streets, and it was just cool. And that thing is now, we were always cool back then, and we're cool now. So a lot of them cats that were about that life, some of them I don't know what happened to, but some of them we still connect, we still cool, and it's just peace, right? And that's the thing about environment. Why environment is so important, because you got to get around people who accept you for who you are, who meet you where you are, and never make you compromise who you are in order to be successful. So shout out to all the Coogee wearing, BMW driving, what else was back then? All the MCM sweatsuit wearing homies from Milford Mil back then, who I was never cool enough to hang with y'all, but we was always cool, and it was always respect. And I got love for all y'all now. So keep doing what y'all do. I look up to y'all just like y'all look up to me. Some of y'all, I know some of y'all do. But I respect and got respect for y'all as well. So for those others who are watching this, don't be ashamed of your environment. Don't be ashamed of your background. Use that as the catalyst for your story as you build your platform going forward. And watch how it's going to help other people. Be dope.
Damn, that was dope.